Hi, I'm Wayne Allyn, Root for America. Donald Trump is the presumptive GOP nominee, whether the media or the GOP establishment realizes it or not. The reality is all roads lead to Trump at the GOP convention in Cleveland. Let's look at four possible scenarios. Trump comes out the winner in all four cases. Scenario number one, Donald Trump gets the magic number of 1237, 1,237 delegates. After his landslide victory in New York, that number just became very reachable. Trump's campaign believes they will crash through the number to reach 1,400 delegates. Well, we all know Americans love a winner. Trump just destroyed Cruz, and of course that other guy who no one knows, who no one has ever heard of, but who pollsters claim beats Hillary. Cruz finished in third place. Trump has all the momentum. The momentum, or I should say the monstrous leads he enjoyed in polls for Pennsylvania, Delaware, Connecticut, Maryland, Rhode Island, and even California before his New York landslide should only grow larger as voters decide to join the winning team. Scenario number two, Donald Trump gets close to 1237 but falls just short. There are about 200 unbound delegates. Trump can either motivate them, sweet talk them, or twist their arms to get to the magic number. With polls showing over 70% of GOP voters think the candidate with the lead coming into the convention should rightfully get the nomination, those unbound delegates should be able to read the tea leaves. Trump will enter the convention with a big lead. He'll lead by a wide margin in states, delegates, and GOP primary voters. To deny him the nomination is delusional. It would lead to chaos and a walkout by over half the delegates on national TV. This would end the GOP as a major political party. Understanding all this, Trump should easily get the 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 or maybe 100 of those 200 unbound delegates. He certainly won't need more than 100. More likely, he'll need just a few. He'll get them. Any other decision by the delegates would be disastrous for the Republican Party. Or does anyone think the candidate who didn't win one state on the last Super Tuesday, Ted Cruz, and who came in third in New York with 15% of the vote and no delegates should be the nominee? Does anyone think the candidate who won one lonely state out of 50, his own, Ohio, John Kasich, should be the nominee? Does anyone really believe in their heart that the GOP should hand the nomination to either Paul Ryan or the 2012 loser Mitt Romney, neither of whom ever campaigned, ever were on a single primary ballot, ever debated, ever gave a speech, and didn't win a single GOP primary vote versus Trump's millions of Republican voters in the primaries? I'm certain many establishment Republicans dream and drool over this scenario, but in the end, it's a dream and nothing else. In the real world I live in, it can't and won't happen. It's delusional, it's madness, it's just plain stupid, and let me repeat, it would be the end of the GOP. So Trump wins with that scenario too. Scenario number three, if Trump is short by a few delegates headed into the GOP convention, he could simply cut a deal with John Kasich to become his vice president just before heading to Cleveland. Trump and Kasich then walk into the convention hand in hand, united as a team. Kasich's delegates would put Trump over the top on the first ballot, end of story. But Kasich serves a much more important purpose. He unites the establishment GOP leaders with Trump. He gives Trump a partner with Washington, D.C. gravitas and about 20 years of experience in Congress, 18 to be exact, and he guarantees a GOP election, general election victory in Ohio. Win Ohio and Trump most probably wins the election. Lose Ohio and the GOP has almost no possible way to win the Electoral College. All roads lead to Ohio and Kasich. Scenario number four, if the GOP enters a second or third ballot with no clear winner and Ted Cruz is being double-crossed by the GOP establishment, which I believe is a sure thing, Trump walks across the aisle, cuts a deal with Cruz for a Trump-Cruz ticket. Cruz isn't going to win the nomination. He'd be stupid not to accept vice president. It makes him the second most important man in America. He's only 45 years old. It puts him in place to become president 8 years from now. And Cruz and Trump get to stick their finger in the eye of the GOP establishment. The two outsiders who combined control 80% of the delegates, Trump and Cruz could team up. There's nothing anyone anywhere could do to stop them from winning the nomination as a team. The team of Trump-Cruz unites the GOP and brings together the base of conservatives and Christians. Do they hate each other? Sure. Who cares? Politics makes strange bedfellows. They can unite for the good of saving America and saving capitalism. They'll survive just fine, just as ultra-conservative President Ronald Reagan and establishment moderate Vice President George H.W. Bush survived just fine in 1980 and 1984. Either way, everyone better get ready for fun, because all roads lead to President Donald J. Trump. And to crooked Hillary, I wish you lots of luck. You're going to need it. I'm Wayne Allyn, Root for America. God bless America.